Okay. Let's see. Alright. I wonder if... Nope. Beauty. Check review. We gotta do this again. Nope. View the camera. No. There you go. So guys, as you guys are being notified that Chief Apostle E is live, I came on did an earlier video because I was trying to get the commentary all set up and make sure that I can actually talk about what I need to talk about without clarity. As you guys get notified that we are chiming in and that we're live, much love to each and every one of you guys. First of all, we want to say to all of you all that got caught in the hot eye of the hurricane, hope everybody's okay. And we asking God to make a way for many of you guys out there. To each and every one of you guys, please. So giving guys the opportunity to understand what we talking about, why I take out my time doing what I do, as you guys be notified. And I really think that this is something that's going to be important, and it has the preference of me teaching universal laws. I've been doing magic since I was a child. I'm 51 years of age, 52 in December. I'm a Sagittarius, Moon in Aries, and Rising sign Pisces. And a lot of this stuff what's up there? Much love to each and every one of you guys. I got my glasses on so I can read. How you doing? Now, what I want to teach about in this excerpt is about summoning spirits. I think that I was talking to one of my Tauruses about this thing called calling spirits, summoning spirits. And a lot of times when you get into the ATRs, even in the church world, call them like a house on fire, call it GGGs. Invocation is has a lot to do with relationship. The reason why Moses was able to call Yahweh is because of relationship. I think that when people think about summoning spirits that they don't have a relationship with, they don't understand that that spirit, your vibration, your frequency, when you get initiated into certain ATRs, you have a name, and so therefore those spirits respond to your call because of a contract, because of relationship. I think that a lot of people get out here and they get involved, especially if you come from the church. And like I said, the church done taught us some good stuff, but the church also done taught us some bad stuff, especially black churches. And the mere fact that many people think that they can randomly summon spirits that they have absolutely no relationship. What's up, Monique 444 Cancer Crab Case in the house? As everybody go chiming in, let me tell you something. This is going to be very, very important if you give me the opportunity. I'm really doing this for my Taurus, so that anybody that gets involved in this will have a better understanding. Summoning spirits is just like calling people in the natural that don't know you. What's up, Mama Susan? Mama Susan in the house. Gemini. The reason why I keep trying to reiterate to melanated people, if you're not in relationship with the Impungos, if you're not in relationship with the Loa, if you're not in relationship with the Orisha, if you're not in relationship, this means that you have been initiated. You have these specific names and specific ways of incantation. It's like when you think about summoning spirits, you got to think about being able to have the phone number of the individual that you're trying to call, and then they still have to pick up. The same is true when it comes to invocation. The same is true when it comes down to summoning or conjuring spirits. You have to have their signia, their signature. We call them veves, we call them patipimbas, we call them energy signatures, where that spirit identifies with that energy or frequency. And if you do not have a hieroglyphic or a sigil, then it is some type of blood pact that you have with that particular god, goddess, or spirit or ancestor. You have to have relationship with said spirits in order to be able to call them. Even when Jacob wanted to know the angel's name, the angel did not give Jacob his name, but he did give him power with God and man. So one of the things that I want to discuss, I've been studying out of this book up under my spiritual dad since I was 13 years old, the 6 and 7 books of Moses. And I have another book here, talk about the Kabbalah, decoding the Kabbalah. Kabbalists and people that work with invocation, that's also considered, if you work with the greater keys of Solomon or the lesser keys of Solomon, it is all the same context. You cannot just randomly summon a spirit that you have absolutely no reason. What's your opinion on Diddy that got arrested? Did you expect? My opinion on Diddy is the same thing. My opinion, as long as Donald Trump can walk around free, they have no business handcuffing and putting Diddy anywhere. P. Diddy is still alleged. Donald Trump is convicted felon, 34 counts, and he's still running for president. So that's my spiel about that. To talk to many of you guys that really want to practice magic and practice spirituality, I want you to understand that it's so very, very important that you understand that you have to have relationships, and these relationships are developed through constant rituals. Rituals are something that you do repetitive. I don't know what is going on. People are getting booted out. Am I? Let me know if you guys are having difficulty hearing me. Somebody asked, how can I contact you? You can contact me through my website, right in my bio. Very easy. I'm trying to figure out why is my numbers going up and down, and then my regulars are not in here, my moderators. The people that actually need to hear this. Okay, where's Sister Monique? There's Mother Susan. Is it kicking you out or what? Do I need to go? Daniel, you want to contact me? All you have to do is go to my website, in my bio, my link to my bio. Go to my website and get a consultation. There's Monique. What is going on? Is it kicking you guys out? Or do I need to go back to my desk? because I don't want to reiterate this. This is really important what I want to talk about. Because this shouldn't be a problem with me because it's still connected to my internet out here on my porch. No. Oh, she said, no, you're fine. Okay. Now, I said all this to say this. Before you find yourself calling a spirit that is unfamiliar to you, this is something I'm going to, when you invoke, what's up, Miranda? Okay, she said, I can hear you now. Okay, my goodness. Okay, so I want to say this. When I learned about the 6 and 7 books of Moses, remember my spiritual dad was in the Masonic order, so I wasn't just out here randomly getting into the 6 and 7 books of Moses or getting into Kabbalah. I was actually being trained how to invoke these particular spirits. I was also being tested by my spiritual dad of my ability to invoke spirits, because just because you call spirits, whether you call them correctly by their name or not, or you're in the vicinity of pronunciation, those spirits, if they want to come to you, because they feel they have a resonance with you, they're going to show up to you. When you are trying to learn how to summon spirits and call spirits, you got to understand, even in the scripture, the Bible said that Jesus told him, I could summon 12 legions of angels, which is 72,000 of angels from my Father. That means he had a kingdom by which he was drawing drawing those spirits from. It is too many people out here that have absolutely no relationship to some of these spirits, and you're calling these spirits or invoking these spirits, and trying to utilize books to bring you into the company of the spirits, but then you don't have anything. You don't know how to dismiss these spirits. Any spirit that is called, there was an old saying, they say, don't call up nothing you can't put down. I'm going to say that again. Don't call up nothing you can't put down. So therefore, when you're out, whether it's cemetery, whether it's Egun, ancestor, whether it is archangel, invocation is powerful. It is a divine gift. It is a connectivity to said spirits. But those spirits having a reason why they're showing up, reason why they're summoning. Say, for instance, if I was in a situation where I was trying to cleanse you of a spirit, I am going to call my guardian spirits in first before I ever address any spirit with a man or woman. Okay? Too many people don't know how to protect themselves. They don't know how to summon in their angels or their spirits. And because it may not be your profession, it may not be your talent, it may not be your gift. So it's not that everybody has an ability to summon spirits. You calling upon your help or your Eguns, those are spirits that are in relationship to you. But you're trying to summon spirits outside of the radius of your gift, outside of the radius of your initiation or your presentation. As they say, presenting you to the points. Sometimes that you have relationships that we are presented to Egun, we are being presented to the Orisha, we're being presented to the Inkisi, we're being presented to the Loa. So when they hear us and they hear people like me, they're going to come. They're going to summon. This is what happened with Elijah with the prophets of Baal. He said that Baal was a god, so maybe you not, calling him loud enough. Maybe your God is asleep. If you're in a situation and you're invoking a spirit and you're calling a spirit and that spirit is not showing up because there's no relationship there, there's no reason for the spirit to answer your call. I really want melanated people to get that. Spirits have to have a reason why they're answering your call. Spirits have a reason why they have to adhere to your said commands or your said desires or your said petitions. It is not simply going around and calling somebody by name. And just like in your natural family, You may know them by name, but then they may not fool with you. Same thing with spirits. All spirits are not going to get along with everybody. This is a book that I learned how to do invocation. And an invocation is summoning spirits. And understanding, like, this used to be one of my favorite sigils to work with. Elohim. And this particular in this particular book, I used to love. I did a lot of conjure, a lot of mysticism with that. But I had fellowship with that entity, which is the Elohim, which is a plural name for the divine. Okay. This is 6 and 7 books of Moses is a very ancient book. A lot of people don't got messed up trying to work with these spirits, but each one of these symbols represent an energy and a frequency. Each one of these symbols, right? I'm just trying to show you guys, and they have an opening of divine names that you have to use, a certain names that you have to summon, and then when you get ready to dismiss these spirits and send them back into their realm, you have a certain invocation by which how you dismiss spirits. So invocation has a lot to do with summoning and dismissing spirits. Just like I summon spirits in the church. This is another one I used to use. I just saw it. Well, this is a bigger version of it. Citations of all spirits. What if spirits come to her? I can't answer that, Daniel, because in fact I don't know if spirits are actually coming to people. Just because somebody says a spirit visited them doesn't mean that was the actual spirit, and that's where a lot of people are messing up. Just because an energy shows up doesn't mean it's the spirit that you have summoned. So I work a lot with this particular spirit as well. This is a sigil that I used to work with when I was very young. The magical laws. These are working with laws of the spirit. But this is all this is some where is breastplate of? Because I was using this. This is some of the books that were taken out of the Bible, but I'm trying to find the sigil, the passage, to give you guys a better understanding. So here I'm going to use this one. This is in the front of this book talks about the sigil for the planets, right? So this is a different type of magic. So one here is saying about the earth. This sigil is for earth. This other one here is for Saturn. This one is for, I'm reading this backwards, Mars. And then this one is for the sun. And then the other one, wait a minute, Sun, Mars, and Jupiter. The top one is Jupiter. The middle one is Mars, and the bottom is the sun. So these are sigils where you invoke spirits out of planetary. This is called planetary magic, where you invoke those spirits. This is when you understand your energy, frequency, and vibration. And then these are tables and segments in this particular book that where you deal with the water elements. And this is all conjure. Conjure is summoning spirits. This is the table of the air element. This is the table of which one is this one? The fire element and the water element. This is not as easy as people would profess it is. And this is not something that you should get into, especially if you have absolutely no training. These sigils right here, where's the one I was working with? These are dealing with the category, the hierarchy of angels. Hold on. This seal right here It's a seal of power. They have thrones. They have dominions, principalities. All of these sigils. And this is no different when we do in Palo. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing we do in voodoo. We have to call those spirits down. Just because you put a veve out there, I have sigils of the archangels. You have to have a relationship. Hold on, guys. Because it's getting dark out here. And I am dark skinned. So let me turn the light on the porch. So this is why I think that people like me should come and express to people why it is so important not to be jumping from religion to religion and tradition to tradition, and calling forth spirits. If a spirit shows up and you don't have a purpose for why that spirit is there, some of those spirits will get angry. Some of those spirits will get upset. This is something. If you ever got a reading from me, this is what will become Shikam Farask, that divine name, that table, the 72 names of God. If you ever got a reading from me on social media and the $20 reading, when I utilize the card, that's the whole concept of where that comes from. The divine, that divine name. I know somebody's still gonna, no matter what I say, they're gonna still get out there and try to pronounce these words and chant that. And nobody in your family is Masonic order. Nobody in your family is Eastern Star. None of you guys have had encounters with the 6 and 7 books of Moses. And this is what happens when people like me try to explain why something should be done or why something should not be done. And this is when you are out here trying to do your own conjuration without any guidance, without any relationship to these particular spirits. This is something I have been doing since I was 13 years of age. That means I am 51 years old. I've been doing magic out of this particular book, up under tutelage. Not me just reading the book, not just me having intellectual understanding, but me actually, my spiritual dad watching me summon these spirits through these particular sigils. This is why I'm able to utilize Palo the way that I do, how I'm able to utilize voodoo, because I'm a conjurer. A conjurer is somebody that can summon spirits. That is a gift. That is a talent. That is not something you buy out of a bottle. That is not something you buy out of a store. That is not a class that you take. All classes can teach you is the science behind conjuring. But they can't teach you to be a conjurer. That has to be a gift. That has to be a talent. That has to be something that has been given to you by the divine mother or the divine father, whether it's a water spirit, whether it's an earth spirit, whether it's a fire spirit, whether it's a fire spirit. It doesn't even matter. But it has to come from the divine. You can't just randomly out here calling on entities, or as people get saved in the church 2 days and next thing you know, they're calling on Michael. Michael is an archangel. When you're calling on, I'm just going to say this. If you're calling on Saint Michael, it is equivalent to you being able to call upon the cabinet of President Joe Biden. That means you have Pete Buttigieg's number personally. I want you to think about how, even though you are a citizen of these United States, even though you have voted for President Joe Biden, even though you voted for him to be the president and Kamala Harris to be the vice president, you did all that, but you do not have the personal number of the people that are even in his cabinet, no less having the personal number of the president of the United States, neither having the personal number of the vice president of these United States. This is how ridiculous it is when it comes down to people going out. What's up, my baby Scorpio? Going out and on their own trying to summon Orisha. Obatala, who you have never given any blood. You have given no contract. No contract whatsoever. And you are going to haphazardly call and summon them. This is why I give you guys my talisman, because you're gaining access to them through somebody that actually has a relationship. That's somebody that's a santero. That somebody gave you permission. You understand? And one thing about being able to summon spirits, everybody does not have the same measure. I don't, just because you have a cell phone or a phone doesn't mean that you have the numbers of everybody that's in authority. I call it shot callers. There's such a delusion with Black American people that they feel that they can just invoke El Shaddai. Moses was able to invoke the name of God because of their relationship. If you have not been consecrated, if you have not been initiated, if you are not in fellowship with that particular divine, and I won't say this again because I've said this 1,000 times, I ain't said it 1,000,000 times. The word God is a title. Allah, Obatala, Alofi is a title. Oludamari, naming a God or energy by name through relationship gives you the ability to channel, to harness, to direct, and disperse that energy. End of story. That's why when Jacob asked for the angel's name, he did not allow him to call him again. He had gave him what he wanted him to have. There are certain spirits may show up in your life. They may never give you their name. Don't mean they won't give you their blessing. There are some ancestors you may never know. AJ, for whatever reason that you out here just testifying all over my live, I think it's rude. Matter of fact, I don't think it's rude. I know it's rude. We're talking about a subject matter. If you want to do that nature, then the proper thing would be to discuss that on your live. But we're talking about the 6 and 7 books of Moses. We're not asking for testimony service of an individual. And this is why there's too many people out there self-taught, self-learned, and they self-exalt themselves. And what happens when you do those things, when you run across people that really, really have those gifts and really been sanctioned by the divine, that's when you start running in trouble. What's up there, my Pisces? My Boaz in the house. We don't have any spiritual etiquette, but we claim to be spiritual. We claim to be spiritual, and we don't respect boundaries. We can't even stay on subject matters. I'm doing this for somebody that I had a conversation with, and I wanted them to understand hieroglyphics. This is why I'm even taking out my time to share this with you guys. It's not that I'm out here teaching you how to work the 6 and 7 books of Moses, because I'm not going to teach that. That's something for me. If it was meant for you to work the 6 and 7 books of Moses, you would already have that access to those spirits. You do not, because it was not meant for you. Everything you see somebody do ain't meant for you. And understand that there's levels to invocation. There's levels to being able to summon from different worlds, different dimensions. Even in the astral plane, there's different levels where you may have access to communicate with one spirit, then you don't have access to communicate with another spirit, depending on what that spirit is. Because your frequency and vibration is going to draw in the type of spirits that you're going to have access to. But just to be out here, and this is why you see so many people get messed up. And when I say messed up, is that you call an entity in, and then that entity chooses to either chastise you, or that entity or spirit or a power, whatever it is that you're doing, it decides to take over your particular space. Yes, that can happen. You can call a spirit in, and it's not there to do anything you ask, but because you don't have the power to send it back, it starts to take over your life. It starts to influence your life in certain ways that has no control. And then you're going to need somebody else that can come in there and remove that spirit, which is going to cost you. And no matter what I say, how I say it, I know black people, especially in the church world, you know you got Jesus, so you can do anything you want to, and great is he that's on the inside of you than he is in the world. And all of these rules and regulations that are set out here in the universe for all mankind to follow, especially if you're gifted and talented to work in the ATR, you're going to sit there and do what you want to do. And then when you don't have the money or the resources to actually get yourself set free, then you're going to blame everybody and their mama for something you decided to do. Call yourself doing something in secret. These mosquitoes. Oh, my Lord. I'm not finna get bit up to be out here. Y'all give me a second. I would love for black people to actually want to learn about real spirituality, and I would love black people to start taking elders at their word instead of constantly trying to do stuff in secret because you think you're saving some money or you gaining some power, and it's just simply not the truth. It's just simply not the truth. I had to come in my office because I was not fit to get ate up by the mosquitoes. Excuse me. I don't mind talking to y'all, but I'm not fit to be ate up by the mosquitoes. Even when I'm out here and I'm doing invocation over, say for instance, I'm calling in spirit inside of oils or candles, and people think that they can just, like, you fixing a candle and you actually invoking a spirit in the candle, that is a whole different level of conjure. You know what I'm saying? We use figurative candles, and you got so many different people that are out here and just randomly doing conjure and summoning, and I didn't say summoning. You trying to call in a spirit when, if you had a relationship with that spirit, it don't take that long. Any spirit that I summon, it doesn't take long for them to show up. The mere fact that you are still trying to conjure certain spirits and trying to do certain things, then when they show up, they're there for a particular task. They're there for a particular working. Because I'm not going to call Centea for certain things. I'm not going to call Zarabanda for certain things. I'm not going to call Kobiende for certain things. I'm not going to call Oba for certain things. There are certain things, because these spirits rule over certain jurisdictions of life and human life. All of that's about things that you should know before you ever start trying to call spirits. That's why you can have people in these big, huge churches and everybody calling Jesus, but they ain't getting no manifestation. They know the name. They know Jesus Christ, but they are not getting endowed with power from on high. You know why? Because they don't have a relationship with that entity. It is very important that if you're going to do real conjure and you're going to work, especially what I do conjuration through the 6 and 7 books of Moses. I do through Kabbalah. I do that. I do invocation through Palo. I do it voodoo. I do it with Ocha, Santeria. All of those are invocation. Then when they tell you about mambos and stuff, that's chanting. Chanting does not guarantee manifestation of spirit. That's what Tina Turner was doing. She was chanting. Chanting is about bringing things into a rhythm in hopes that that frequency draws that particular energy. When you are invocating or calling upon the divine, that means when you call Jehovah, Jireh, he show up. When you call Elohim, show up. That means there's a relationship there. And therefore, I can ask that spirit or that entity to bless my oil, bless my crystal, or bless, this is Saturn, sigil. Give it its power, give it its arche. What I did, because my powers are extraterrestrial, what I did with my cauldron, I elevated them and I invoked the spirits, the extraterrestrials that work with me and guide me. I let them bless my cauldron. You understand? That's because I already have the relationship. That is not something that I'm doing outside of self. I'm doing outside of my measure. I'm doing outside of covenant or contract. It is, you cannot take that back. You can do whatever you want to. I'm a Sag, Moon, and Aries, Rise, Sign, Pisces. Do whatever you want to. I just don't advise you. Because what happens is you will be knocking on a door and end up thinking you bringing in one spirit, then you bringing in another spirit, and you don't know that spirit's name. You don't understand what that spirit has to be. You don't know what rank that spirit is in, and 9 times out of 10 you can't send it back from which it came because you first didn't understand the door that you opened. Don't knock on a door that you don't understand. I'm going to say this again. I see people in my church do it. They'll get right in front of me. Oh, no, Apostle, I never. I sit there. I know for a fact you're not initiated in Palo. I know for a fact you're not crowned in Orisha and in Ocha. But you're around here. As I invoke, as I call, as I summon, you're doing the same thing. This right here, the reason why I work these cards, because this is Kabbalah. This is Mosaic magic. Mosaic magic is through the 6 and 7 books of Moses. This is Psalms 119. These cards represent the Hebrew alphabet, which is fire magic. You don't know that. What's up? There go my Natasha Foster. I was concerned about you. It is important that if you want the benefit of a particular ATR, then make sure that you're in relationship with a person, priest or priestess, that has a relationship with that. That you're just not haphazardly out here because you can order something on Amazon, because you can go to a spiritual botanica and buy a book. It doesn't make you have relationship. Just like you can go down to the courthouse and get a license to marry and don't have nobody to marry. But you can go get the paperwork. It's not legal because the judge ain't signed, it hasn't been notarized. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a contract between that ability to call that particular entity or spirit or egum. It is not something you do because you think you're a water sign. It's not something that you do because you think you're an earth sign. It's not something you do because you think you're a fire sign. The things that I talk about is because I've been chosen to do. I am sanctioned to do. I am licensed to do. And I do on the behalf of other people that are not licensed, that are not sanctioned. Doesn't mean you can't benefit, but the mere fact that you're behind my back after listening to me talk, listening to me articulate my practice and some of the things that I have been working in since I've been a child. You just heard this 2-3 weeks ago, or a month ago, or a week ago, or an hour ago, and all of a sudden, you become a conjurer. Notice that the disciples were right there when Yahshua said, I could call 12 legions of angels. Peter was going to be the chief cornerstone of the church. He didn't do it. You don't read in the Bible nowhere that no other disciple tried to call a legion of spirits like the master did. Only black people feel like you can call what somebody has been sanctioned to call. Peter didn't do it. John didn't do it. Apostle Paul didn't do it. No other person did that but Yahshua. And you know why Yahshua was able to do it? Because Yahshua had the spirit without measure, and Yahshua had that kind of relationship, and he was one with his Father. There was an agreement made. We have to stop because we have the ability to read. because we have the ability to comprehend, does not create relationship, does not create contract between you, the deity, or spirit, or Egun, or whatever. Yes, I can call Zarabanda because I have contract. Yes, I can call Centea because I have contract. Yes, I can call Gabriel, Michael, Uriah, Raphael. I can do a spell with any of those angels because of my contract. That is not because I'm Samuel Jr. That is because of what has already been mandated for my soul. Everybody's not going to be a doctor. Everybody's not going to be a lawyer. Why do black people think everybody's going to be a conjurer? Like, make it make sense. I can call your ancestor's spirit in way stronger than you could ever do, and those are your ancestors. You know why? Because I have the power. I'm a necromancer. I'm a Negro, but I'm a necromancer, Negro. That should matter to you. That I know how to call a spirit in, and I also know how to dismiss that spirit. In other words, say for instance, if I'm doing a work and I'm praying with Natasha and I'm calling in the spirits. Just say for instance, I'm gonna call in Gabriel because I want her to have visions and dreams. Okay? Once I call in that archangel, which is the archangel, that energy is gonna come over her, right? Come in contact with her soul, right? Then what happens once I get through with that, whatever petition we are discussing, the next thing that I'm going to do, because I'm a real professional, I am going to dismiss Gabriel back into the angelic realm. I am not going to close that particular prayer. I'm not going to close that particular working without dismissing that spirit out of her energy. I'm going to say this again. Even with angels and working with angelic spirits, you have to summon them and then you have to dismiss them. You have to summon your ancestors and then you have to dismiss them. The reason why you have lingering spirits is because you never have learned, because you ain't supposed to be doing it in the first place. But the fact that you're out here calling things in and then you don't know how to remove them. I didn't say get rid of them. Return them back to the very source of energy, Ache, frequency, by which you call them from. You should know that before you even summon them. So how are you going to return that representative? Because most of you guys will never get the actual archangel. You will get a representative. But how do you return that particular entity or spirit or angel back to their realm when you didn't know what you were doing? How do you do that? You got candles lit. Somebody said they initiation until 12 years. Let me tell y'all this. I would not be discussing this if this wasn't a problem. Black people, melanated people, especially coming out of the church or church influence, has this mindset that I can do what everybody else does. If you want peace in your house, you want peace in your life, stick to the rivers and the lakes that you are accustomed to and leave certain things for the professional. If you cannot afford it today, don't mean you can't afford it tomorrow. This is what I've seen people get initiated that because they had money and they were doing certain things and they thought they had certain monopoly on certain spirits. And then when I came along by being a natural thoroughbred, I had way more influence with those spirits than they did. It has all to do what the divine says about a man or woman, what you will have access to. It doesn't matter if you get initiated in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria. It's up to the spirit of the divine to say, hey, you got this level of measure. You have this level of assets. Padrino Michael could not give that to me. Oba could not give that to me. Madrina could not give that to me. I had to already have that. And so therefore, these are just vessels by which I harness and direct and disperse that energy. But at the end of the day, that had to come from above. But what is happening is, every time you get an opportunity to learn something, you begin to practice those things that without any tutelage, without any class, without any homework, without anybody supervising you. And that is not how I learned magic. That is not how I learned invocation. Not even down to graveyard work. I did not. I have never told anybody up under this sun that I'm self-taught. I learned through. So I never said that. I learned magic, how to utilize my gift, my talent, and my ability up under tutelage. And I am trying to encourage you to stop going behind leadership and elders' back, trying to do spells that you mess around and summon stuff in there. And guess what? I'm telling you right now, you do not have the money to fix the mess that you, especially if you are in my church. I've said to people, oh, how are you talking to certain spirits? They're not there for you. I didn't call them into that space or place for you. I called them for me. So how you going to have influence over those spirits? That's like you inviting somebody to your house and they're your company, but somebody sitting there acting like that person there for them. There's nothing wrong with you speaking. There's nothing wrong with you being cordial, but this is my company. Excuse you. Excuse you. I've never seen so much idiocy. You did not go through absolutely none of those ceremonies. But all of a sudden now, my spirit, my Ergun, my ancestors are going to be communicating with you for what? But you got some money I don't know nothing about? You got some cheddar I don't know nothing about? You got some fettuccine I don't know nothing about? If that's the case, we need to talk. But other than that, there is no logical reason why my Ergun or my spirits will be talking to you, especially that I summoned them for the very sole purpose of protecting me, showing themselves strong in my behalf and in my favor, not yours. When I'm doing work for you, then I summon spirit for your particular situation or circumstances. And then those spirits are there. This is why when I see people, now y'all know I'm not allowing y'all black people. Just like we share medicine, we think we can share condoms. You get some oil for you, you think you can put that on everybody in the family. That oil was consecrated for you in particular. Unless you were told that can be utilized for other people, should you really be utilizing that oil on other people? Because depending on what that prayer or invocation was done over that oil or that crystal or gree bag, whatever it was specifically designed for your outcome in your situation. How's that energy going to help the next person that you may love, but they do not have your same situation? I want us to start thinking. I'm going to bless on this particular oil is patchouli. I'm going to bless this for Mama Susan for her healing. But then she going to give Sister Monique some of the oil because she found out that patchouli also bringing money. But I only bless this. I only invoke the spirit to heal her. She cannot use this oil for Monique to prosper, even though this has the principles of bringing finances. But that was not what it was called for. And you would know that if you were a real conjurer. Then I have this. I'm saying, well, Bo, I'm going to give you some of this rose geranium. This right here is going to be for your protection of your love life. This is going to prosper you in all things pertaining to love. Bo gets some of that. He called up Chris and said, Chris, I'm going to send you because you're going through some situation in your love life. I done called Bo name over this oil. Now he giving that oil that I call his name over to Chris, which there's no contract with the spirit of this rose geranium with Chris. Chris is not going to receive benefits. And if Chris keep anointing himself with Bo's oil, what's going to happen is the energy of this oil is going to pull from Chris to manifest for Bo. Because I'm going to teach you something. I'm going to tell you how you messing yourself up. The mere fact that now Chris has Bose oil that was consecrated for him, now that spirit is going to pull energy. Because Chris is putting it on his body. Now this spirit is going to pull energy from Chris to help Bo in his love life. So not only is Bo receiving energy from himself and the consecration of the oil, he's also receiving energy. And he's like, damn, things going good. And he said, man, things are getting even worse in my love life. Chris like, well, I don't know what's going on ever since I started using that oil thing. Like, I mean, it wasn't that it was all that bad, but now it done got worse. You know why? Because that was not sanctioned. It was not invoked. It was not summoned for Chris. But Chris is using Bo's oil. Now Bo get the benefit off of the love life of Chris and Bo. Bo getting all kind of plays. He getting played from people that he don't even want. Huh? Because now there's two energies at work in his behalf. So continue. Black people, do what you do. Pick up other people's Bible and try to work other people's Bible. You don't know what they done prayed over them Bible. You don't know what they done invoked over them Bible. You don't know what kind of spirits or ego they working with their Bible. That's why you get your own Bible. That's why you pray your own prayers. You never know what somebody is doing. This is why when I tell them, like, I pray over my own dick and nuts. Yes, I conjure over my own personal gonads. Because if I'm going to be sticking it in an Nganga, I never know what somebody doing with their vagina or their anus. And I need to be protected. Do you understand? Then I'm going to give you another example because we learned this stuff in the church. We pray over oil and that oil was consecrated for you to get a house. That's all it was consecrated for. You over there dropping oil on all the apartments, condos, townhouses. The petition was for you to get a house. You anointing the ground of apartments, condos is in direct contradiction to what was petitioned, requested for you with that particular oil. Because you know, church folk, we take our oil and we take it everywhere we go and we putting all kind of stunts. Unless that is your personal oil that you have created to be an all-purpose oil, that if you have had that fixed for you for a particular task, that's what it's used for. That's what it's used for. If your high John was set up for you to gamble with, then why are you trying to go to court and trying to win a court case with your high John? Because you find out that high John also help you conquer in court. But your particular high John was fixed for you to have a gambling hand. What was spoken over that particular situation or circumstance or object? That's why this is important. And I do a lot of my conjuration through 6 and 7. A lot of my spells are done through 6 and 7 books of Moses. And it's the 72 names of God. I do a whole heap of fire magic. I protect with it. I work with it. That's me. And what I tell every man and woman, that this is why we go through different series with individuals so we understand. But we learn that crap from home. We learn it from the church. You cannot share your magical tools with other people. Then this is another stupid thing that I've seen people do. This is a base. This is rose geranium, actually, and this is the blend that. But I had some other herbs in here, or whatever, right? Instead of you getting a new bottle of rose geranium, which is this, you're gonna add a carrier oil, because you're gonna stretch it. Do you realize that the more, just like anything else, the more you add water, the more you dilute it? The more you add that carrier oil, the less concentration you're going to have. Do you understand that? Do you understand that you're making The very oil that was consecrated to protect you or to prosper you, you're making it weaker. As you stretch it, as you continue to stretch it and think that you're doing something, as you add to my cleanser, you're stretching it and you're making it weaker where you don't have the testimony that you should have. That's all I was talking about early this morning when I was preaching about being a true witness. You're not a true witness because you're always trying to cut corners. You're not a true witness because you don't respect the science behind putting your particular workings together. In order for it to manifest the way that I designed it to, that's why I gave you a certain amount. And I told you to bathe with that a certain type of way. Because I know the level of potency that it has. But no, you're going to make it stretch to be a couple months. So you're going to keep adding water to it. And you know what's going to happen? What it could have done for your life, it is not going to do it. You don't get your Ogun talisman trying to get it to do what your Oshun talisman could do. Wait a minute, do I got it? Or in this case, Shango. Every one of these entities are invoked to do a certain thing. And what I do to all of you guys that have supported me with my crowning, supported me with my graveyard work that has been given, I always ask, I said, God bless those that bless me. See, there's certain things that are going to fall on your life because I'm always invoking the divine. If I'm doing an initiation, my prayer is, bless those that bless me, curse those that curse me, fight those that fight against me, strive against those that strive against me, assist those that assist me, help those that help me, stop those that trying to stop me. That's how I talk. I make it very simple. Whatever actions that you make towards me and in goodwill, I don't care if you send me lunch money. I don't care if you purchase a service from me, from a read and all that. You're going to get blessed beyond that because of the simple fact that the kind of conjure that I do is I'm always asking Egum or spirit to bless people that are a blessing to me and to curse people that are cursing me. That covers everything. I don't care what somebody doing behind my back. I don't care that somebody trying to use my products against me. I don't care about none of that because if you're not trying to bless me, my divine spirits, my Eguns, are there to curse your ass. If you there to bless me, guess what's going to happen? Whether when I got crowned Mafetipun Oya, when I got crowned Mafetipun Babalua, I said the same prayer. And I always base my prayer through the 6 and 7 books of Moses because that's the conjure that I've been doing since I was 13 years old. I don't care if you send me $1,000, that has a different blessing. I don't care what you sent it for. Hear me well when I say this. I don't care what you sent it for. The mere fact that you are a blessing to me, you're going to be blessed. And that blessing is going to show up where you need it the most, not where I need it the most. You understand? This is the purpose of knowing who you blessing. This is the purpose of knowing who has a relationship. What kind of spirits are showing up for them when they call. It doesn't matter. That's why I'm not being condescending. Mother Susan don't never have to be initiated in voodoo. She don't have to never be crowned. If she continues to be a blessing to me, willingly and with the right heart, guess what's going to happen? Things are going to always work out for her. Because Egun going to do it. If it ain't going to be Egun, Orisha going to do it. It's going to be Mafetipun Yanza. It's going to be Mafetipun Babaluaye. Huh? This is why I bless my Padrino, because Mafetipun Obatala. Mafetipun Oba. I know who I bless. I know the rivers. I know the lakes. I know the things that I need in my life. And so therefore, because I'm smart and I teach this. I teach you this. When he said blessing, son, that's those blessings that are coming from Obatala, which Obatala rules my head. All of a sudden, I'm getting revelation. All of a sudden, I'm getting enlightenment. Because everybody can bless your life in different ways based off of what spirits show up for them. If you only have certain spirits, love spirits, or lust spirits, or money spirits, or healing spirits, whatever it is, that's the measure of what you have the power to bless and curse. On my behalf, I work the 9 realms of the spirit. So I have a variety of ways that I can be a blessing to people. I'm not encouraging you because I want money from you. I'm encouraging you to get your graveyard work. So, because I want somebody to be a testimony of what I really have the capacity of doing. The reason why I've been encouraging a lot of you all, because guess what? It don't matter what I say. I know what I can manifest. But guess what? People out there, until they have other people testifying about, I got to this level in my graveyard work, or I did this right there, and this took place, and I've been waiting on this forever and a day, and this just showed whatever. Testimony. Because I'm church. And the power of my growth is testimony. I don't need nobody to fabricate. But I also don't need you out here calling on entities or spirit that you have no relationship with. Because you heard Chief Apostle Eli talking about the 6 and 7 books of Moses. But you failed to also speak of that I've been doing this since I was 13. Up under tutelage. I've been doing graveyard work up under tutelage. I've been doing candle work up under tutelage. I've been doing Greek. I've been doing voodoo up under tutelage. I wasn't just out here free willing it. That's why I know so much. Because I have the knowledge from my elders. I'm going to say it again. I have the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding from my elders. Not just what I know, but what I've been taught. Because sometimes I don't have to go based on what I know. I can go based on what I was taught. And to get the job done. I hope this really makes some sense. Like, do you really think that without invocation and conjure that, like I bought this shark oil, right? This says, I'm going to show it to you. It says shark oil, right? It's supposed to be the oil from the fat of shark. Do I know that? I don't know. I don't know this company. But you know why I know this is going to work? It's because I'm going to invoke, I have shark too. I have essence from actual sharks. So this, when I use this oil, I'm going to have an essence or animal part of a shark inside of that. When I tell you about scorpion oil, it's because there's scorpions in there. If I tell you about python, it's because there's python bone. If I tell you about rattlesnakes, it's because I have rattlesnakes bone. This is why we have bones. Bones, when we invoke spirit, we invoke it from a person, place, or thing. How can you invoke an energy if you don't know the source by which you invoke it? Make it make sense. This is why we have those available. So I'm not just going based off of the product because I purchased it because it says on the label shark oil. Oh no, that's not how I was raised. I'm gonna put some shark in this, huh? That, see, you can call that a pussy, but until dick get in it, then it's a pussy. When there's no dick in that, it's called a vagina. When there's a baby hung in it, it's called a carriage. Powders, all of these things have been blessed by Egon or spirit. And that's why they work. For the chief and tribe, I cannot express. Oh, let me put on my glasses. I cannot express that enough when I got the graveyard work. My aragonite is to sell left and right. Chief, thank you. You're quite welcome. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, people need to know from their own person. Like, it's good to hear from other people and thank you, Chris. But how much more powerful it is that each individual that is investing in that particular whatever work, because what makes your life go well is very different than your other brothers and sisters. But the fact that you did your part and you experienced it, and then you turn around and look around and say, you know what, I love the way Demetrius handled last time. He's like, I can only imagine where you trying to take me is going to be. He said, but what has already happened and how my spirits are already moving, this is why I don't need nobody to lie for me. I'm a real necromancer. I am a real conjurer. I know how to summon. And I'm just expecting that many of you guys that are experiencing, whether it's your talisman, whether it's your protection oil, whether it's your cleanser, whether it's whatever it is, all of this comes by manifestation. The spirit may work one way with one person and work totally different, but it's still working. This is why this means everything to me. This is why I talk to Bo. This is why I talk to Natasha. This is why I talk to Love. This is why I have these conversations. Because my purpose of telling you this is, if somebody's out here saying that they have relationships with these particular entities or spirit, doesn't matter if it's Egyptology or Kemet, then where's the manifestation? When you call, do they answer? This is why you don't mix magic. You don't mix magic. Because every energy works very differently than another energy. And how I fly my plane may be very different how somebody else fly their plane. How I navigate my ship as the captain may be very different than the next person. And conjure is the same way. There's a reason why I go through the channels, because I don't tell you everything I say. I don't tell you everything that I speak out of my mouth. But there's a reason why I invoke spirits in a particular pattern, in a particular succession, so I can get certain manifestation, because that's how my spirits work with me. This is why, and let me tell you something, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing that super chat, because this is real. He's way in Philadelphia, has never physically met me. There's people around here that got testimonies that are so real and so authentic, and they have never physically met me. And that has never stopped Egum. That has never stopped spirit. That has never stopped conjure from manifesting their desires. It's never done it. It's a level of trust. Every one of y'all have been trying to encourage you to get in 13th circle. Ask yourself why. If Apostle Elaine hoodwinked me before, he not trying to hoodwink me now. If Apostle Elaine keep telling me to go after my graveyard work, it's for a reason. I'm gonna tell you, I had one of my members in my church, Brother Johnny, and I saw death around him. Because I'm not a fear monger, I don't promote, I don't try to get people to do things out of fear. So what I started doing was, Brother Johnny, you really need to get your graveyard work done, right? And I kept, and I would when I did talk to him or when we did interact, I said that, and he took his time coming up with the money, even though he had the money to pay it. I thought at the time, because I saw death around him, I thought they were actually trying to take him, to be very honest with you. So when he finished paying his graveyard work off, his granddaughter was in intensive care. As soon as he paid his graveyard work off, the spirit brought her out of intensive care. I'm going to say this again. Sometimes you could be taking your sweet time and you got somebody that you love suffering and going through. See, I don't do stuff like that. If you got to do it like that and you don't have no other choice, that's one thing. But if I have it, I don't slow poke around. Because with somebody like me, this man is not bringing this up to me just to be bringing it up to me. This man is not telling me that this, suggesting that this to me just to have something to sell to me. There's something going on. And he never connected the dots. But I did, because I saw death on him. But it was in relation to his granddaughter that was in intensive care, that I knew nothing about. A lot of times when you are part of your ancestry, you can be either slowing up the process or causing the process to be slowed down. And if he would have took any longer, she would have passed. His granddaughter would not have made it out of intensive care. Death was already there. When I tell you something, and I tell you like, well, you can't afford something, because I would have to go to a certain length to try to turn that around. And a lot of times, black people, just being honest with you, we wait till the last minute when things get out of control, out of hand. We could have been doing healing work. We could have been doing multiple things. We could have been changing our diet. We could have been changing our financial outlook. We could have been doing a multiple things before things have ever gotten to those points. But because we like to slow poke one and put a little something on, when you look up, things don't change. And I told y'all, and I taught this, everything changes. Energy changes every 21 days. I don't care if you're in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo. It's some people right here, right now. You have to sow certain types of seeds because of what is going on in your bloodline. I can't get away with sowing $20. Not with my bloodline. I can't even get away with sowing $1,000. Not with my bloodline. There are certain things that your bloodline has energetically done, and the karma that's behind that, baby, you cannot afford. You think you can't afford to give, you can't afford not to give. Because you're not going to come out of those cycles of energy until that debt is paid. Do you hear what I'm saying? Those payments are going to still spiritually come out of your check until the debt is paid. So whether that's a debt with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your bloodline going to pay that debt. It can be the innocent paying. Everybody get a deduction. You know, wonder why certain things don't be happening in your life? Because there's a debt to be paid. And as soon as that debt paid, all of a sudden things go to moving. Now, you can continue to lie about your family, but I ain't going to lie about mine. He said, never thought of it like that. That's why you're here with me. I'm here to give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But one thing I don't do, I don't tell grown folks what to do. I ain't going to tell you what to do with your life. I ain't going to tell you what to do with your body. I ain't going to tell you what you do with your money. I ain't going to tell you what you do with your spirituality. What I would encourage you to do is respect the fact that I understand spiritual laws and that it is here to help and benefit you. And you got to be smart enough to make good choices for you. I done told Monique over and over about the 13th circle. Monique don't even realize she's running out of time. You don't have the time you think you got. But I'm not going to sit there and keep on babying y'all. If you been around me long enough, I'm not going to bring up nothing to you that I don't think is good for you. If you ain't figured out about me yet, you don't need to be working with me. I am never going to bring up anything to you that I don't think is going to help you. I'm not here to waste your time, and I'm not here to waste my time, because I'm looking for testimony. And the quicker you make the right decision, is the quicker you get your manifestation, and then you type in and look what happened. I asked for this and that happened. I'm here for testimony. And the only way I'm going to get testimonies is my clients got to do what they need to do. That's just real talk. Change comes in your life when you understand the spirits that are working in the life of the people that you're working with. I would never, I'm going to say it again. I want everybody to hear me. I ain't got but 14 people in here and some other people that are watching. Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. would never encourage any of you to financially do anything or to gain anything that I honestly didn't feel was going to help you. And that's the best I can be to anybody. Whether you get it or not, I'm not going to encourage you into a direction to get you hurt or to cause you harm or cause you to have financial struggle or to have you have relationship problems. That's not what type of person. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm a problem solver. I don't cause problems. But I'm also never going to force you as a grown man or woman to do anything. I'm telling you straight up. I would hint. I would throw signals. I would be like the flight of the person on the airport with the flasher. That's as far as I'm going. I am never going to make none of y'all. Because you're grown. You're grown. I hope this helped. I hope this made more sense. I hope that you really understand my love for the practice. And I hope you understand that I want to see melanated people. What's up, my 69? Coming up in here. They should have called me. If I could split my tongue in half, because I have a really good tongue. If I could have a snake tongue, oh my God, on today, 69 would be perfect. I would put a 6 on this side of my tongue and a 9 on that other. And I would charge royally for the festivities. I'd have been here at my church. But guys, thank you so much. Because I had a long day today. I've been doing a bit much. Let's hit them like buttons, hit them shares. Let's push it. I don't know if anybody can tell. Anybody can tell, because we almost at 4,000 subscribers, but I can't really tell how many I think we up on 100. We need 100 subscribers, a little up on 100, I think, subscribers in order to be at 4,000. So I mean, like, we doing really, really good, really, really good. So very proud of what we have accomplished in such a short time. Also, I'm very proud of all of you that already got great y'all work, that y'all just show me mad love and trust. It irks me when I know that some of y'all should trust me way better than what you do, because I'm not that type of fella. I'm not that type of fella. I don't like when people act like I can't be trusted. That makes me snap. Because I work very hard to do those things. I got some of these orders I got to get out tomorrow and Tuesday. I put extra in y'all, the ones that have been out there. Monique said we got 3,900, so we need 100 more subscribers. That's why one of the reasons I've been going back on TikTok, because I got more followers on there. But we not that far, 100. And it's harder to grow YouTube than it is to grow TikTok or these other social media platforms. But I don't know why it is, but it is very difficult to grow. And unless you start networking and buying subscribers, I ain't doing none of that. Everything that I done built is homegrown. I ain't bought subscribers. I ain't bought none of that. They be sending me packets, and they can give me this many followers and subscribers. Everybody that following me is a legitimate subscriber. Do I have the money to buy subscribers? Yeah, but I ain't finna do it, because I want real numbers. I want people on my platform because they trying to learn and grow. So anybody that's really here, they have a personal reason why they are showing up. All right, appreciate you, Monique, because I didn't even. I was like, where the hell am I gonna find that at? So thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit those share. Thank you guys for super chatting, and thank you, Chris, for your testimony. It is so important, guys, to me. I don't need nobody to lie for me, but when I work hard for you, if you don't mind, please. It helps so many different people. I'm a church. Testimony grows my church. And when people hear from the people that I'm actually serving and praying for, that's what, and I like, some of y'all business is personal, I get that. But if there's certain things that you don't mind sharing with the public, please, sir and ma'am, do so. It doesn't matter if it's the teaching, it doesn't matter if it's the conjure, it doesn't matter if it's the word. And you know how I got really popular? My hoes made me popular. When they were telling about how I was laying the pipe, it wasn't because I was talking about myself, it was about because hoes be talking. That's how I got so popular. I'm a popular hoe. And that because of testimony. I know the power of testimony. Testimony will get you some more play. Because if you do well, who gonna hinder you? Love y'all.